Hello and welcome back to this week's episode of In Distress, a podcast where I talk about nonsense in the comfort of my childhood bedroom, and I will stop shaking my leg. Anywho, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little anxious this week because I started posting the podcast videos, and I think I'm just gonna start posting the audios on Spotify and then the videos on YouTube. But people started watching on YouTube last week, and like super duper grateful for that. Really great to see those subscriber numbers up and that watch time. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little but that has me nervous though. We're like, oh, you're funny. Like, this is so great. This is so fun. And now I'm like, dang, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not funny all the time. Like, I'm not gonna sometimes I be getting on this podcast, I be shaking and crying. Like, that's not what's gonna happen this week because I pre-planned, but I have restarted this episode like 4 times, and hopefully this is lucky number 5. And honestly, it's like 12:15 a.m. And this podcast comes up at 7 a.m. But yeah, thank you for listening and watching if you are. It's available literally everywhere. It's on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, everywhere. Just Google it. Anyways, enough of that. I was really gonna come on here crying and complaining about how TikTok hates me because I've been posting TikToks all week and they have just not been, they've been doing mediocre. Like they do their usual numbers. Like I'll get my little 35 cheap likes and then that's it. And then I was gonna, like I said, I was gonna come in here shaking and crying, but then I posted a video of me talking about Selena Gomez and it did well. And I'm not gonna lie, like I enjoy celebrity gossip, but I'm not gonna like sit here and pretend like I don't want that to be like the main source of like how I get my followers. However, like if you find a pocket, you have to do your thing, but at the same time, like I don't think I was gonna talk about this later. I don't think I really take joy in talking about celebrities per se, because it's like eventually one day, like not that I hope for fame and fortune, but like I'm not gonna lie, like who would be mad at a little fame and fortune? Like fame and fortune, like there's a lot of things that come with that. But like who's mad about fame and fortune? Like really, like when you really think about that, like fortune is great, fame is fine, but fortune though, it's like I don't enjoy talking about celebrities per se, but I can't afford insurance. So I'm on the internet clowning rich people, and it's always going to be eat the rich. You heard it here first. Anyways, but I was talking about Selena Gomez because if you haven't heard, Miss Girl got on Instagram literally yesterday or like the day before that because technically it's Saturday. But yeah, on Thursday night, and apparently she was sorry, I didn't mean to be that close to them. That's on me. I'm sorry. That wasn't professional. She got on Instagram and she was talking about how she's dating Benny Blanco, and she was in the comment section like defending her relationship or something, and it was getting really weird. Like she was in there talking about like, oh, like somebody said you didn't speak out about Palestine, but you have time to be trolling in the comments and responding back to everybody who has something against you or whatever. And she was like, that's true. And I was like, oh, Miss Girl. And see, me and Selena Gomez been on the ropes anyways, because after With This Waverly Place, like, and really she had that hit Come and Get It. And I'm not saying that she doesn't do anything, which people have said that I said in my TikTok video. I just thought it was funny, like the video. Like I had said like on my burner account like earlier or like a couple days ago, and I was like, honestly, like Selena Gomez, like she's like one of those people who's just been famous for too long. Like there comes a point for some people like where they're just famous and then it's like they don't really have anything else to do. Like they don't really have anywhere else to go. And even she admitted that in her little documentary. She said she's gonna do whatever. I didn't watch it, so I don't know. But I've seen the clip numerous times and she was like, I'm philanthropy. I'm gonna dive into philanthropy. And so now the internet conversation, a lot of it is surrounding the fact that she's always playing the victim and XYZ. And I'm not going to confirm or deny whether or not I believe any of those things. It's just that she does a lot of questionable things. Like she admitted to like not voting in 2020 until 2020. And like, I'm like, girl, you're literally grown. Like you should have been voting. Like, don't piss me off. But then also she went and did this like during the Black Lives Matter movement, like the initial one, not like the most recent one. But somebody was on Twitter and they were like, hey, like, girl, you have not been talking about Black Lives Matter. Like, what's going on? And she was like, I'm not choosing sides and blase, blase, blah. And I'm not just going to use a hashtag because it's meaningless, which, okay, fine, have that belief. But then I think she had like this March for Our Lives or something, and she went and hashtagged it on Instagram, like maybe like a year or two later, and was like, hashtag not just a hashtag. This is so important, XYZ. And it's like, oh, but I thought you said hashtags weren't. And I hate to be, and here's the thing about somebody who just consumes media. I hate to be that girl who does the gotcha thing, but at the same time, it's kind of like, girl, like it's one thing. Okay, here's the thing. Celebrities, like, they're never going to be able to win. Like, and I think that a lot of them need to go into that profession knowing that. And I think some of them come to terms with that you can't have it all. And not everybody's going to love you. And that goes for your regular life. Like, even me, like, I'm not famous. I'm not popular. Like, I'm not that girl. Like, but I know that the people aren't just going to like me. Like, there's going to be, and there have been moments when people didn't like me. And I'm like, it bothers you a little bit, especially like when like when you can tell somebody doesn't like you and you're just like, I don't get it. I don't know why she doesn't like me. I actually had a boss at my last job, and she just could not figure out why I didn't like her. And it's not even, we're not going to get into that because I told y'all last week I'm gonna stop being messy. But it's just like sometimes you just don't mesh well with people, and that's fine. For me, it wasn't really that we didn't mesh well. We already didn't really have anything to talk about. It was just like we had different opinions about how management should work. And that's just that. Like, we had a different view on that. And because of that, obviously our work relationship just didn't, like, it wasn't going. And again, like, that's just something that you have to learn. And so I feel like, because I understand that regular, I feel like to a certain extent, and this is where things aren't just black and white. Like, I talk about this a lot on my podcast, like, things aren't gray. I mean, things are gray. A lot of times things aren't just black and white. There's like an element of like being famous, and obviously like fame and fortune, like, it sounds good and everything. Like, people say like money doesn't buy you happiness. And I'm gonna talk about that later, about money. For me, money doesn't do it for me personally. Um, but like, to a certain extent, it's not even that I want to be like famous and I don't want to be able to go anywhere. Like, I don't want to be able to, I want to be able to do regular things and get on a plane and like without people like doing weird stuff. Or like without people stalking. Like, obviously those are things that you want, but like, it's not that I want like that level of fame, of disgusting fame. Like, if that happens, it happens, whatever. But it's just like sometimes I think that you just want, like, some people just want like the stuff that they do to be acknowledged. And I feel like that's valid. Like, obviously, like, I want my podcast to be listened to. Like, it doesn't have to be listened to by thousands of people. Like, the views I got on the last video, that really did it for me. And then people in the comments, I was like, oh, like, people are so nice. Like, they liked it. And I was like, oh, that's so good. Like, this is nice. And like, you just want people to acknowledge the things that you're doing, I think. And I think like sometimes that's where that little gray area is, of like, you're grateful that there are people who like appreciate and acknowledge your work and the stuff that you do. But then there's also the other side of the coin of like constantly being told that like somebody hates you, or like you're ugly, or you're the worst, XYZ. And I don't think that there's no winning in that scenario. Like, you just have to kind of accept that. And I know that that probably be tough. But I think at that point, if you can afford a therapist, you get one of those, and you get a diary, and you also hand that social media over to the PR team. Like, I feel like talking to fans and like doing meet and greets is one thing, and like a vastly different thing. And if maybe sometimes, like Ariana Grande used to do, just go on Twitter sometimes and just chat and then leave. That's perfectly fine too. And I just don't know why. I understand why people feel like they need to be on social media all the time. Like, regular people 100%. But like, for celebrities, in order for you to like keep your mental and keep your sanity, you literally cannot be looking at that phone the same way that regular people do. And like, I get that that's probably something that you want to do because you should be allowed to do that. Yeah. But at some point, you have to put you first. Like, you need to protect that mental and get off that phone. Put that phone down immediately. But that's what I'm going to say about the Selena Gomez thing. I made a TikTok about it. Like, it's kind of a joke, but not really. I just don't really like, I enjoyed watching Selena Gomez. Like, I don't have to, here's the other thing. People were beefing with me in the comment section of the TikTok. And they were like, you're not a real fan, and da 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 da. And I'm like, girl, first of all, you can be a fan of somebody, and then just as they grow and get older and you get older, like your views change on stuff. Like, you don't have to just keep listening and keep watching somebody just because. Like, there's like a comedian that I really enjoyed watching, like during like the pandemic. Um, and I was like, and I still like, like I pay for his Patreon, and like I really enjoy his stuff. And sometimes I'll click in and watch it, and like I see his social media videos and I like those, but like I don't go and like watch a bunch of his stuff because I'm just not interested in that right now. And maybe I've grown out of the content. I don't know. But that's perfectly fine. Like if your audience moves on, some people in your audience move on, that's fine. Like if people like we were watching Selena Gomez when we were like 10. Like we're like in our 20s, mid 20s now. Like it's perfectly okay for you to not be a fan of that person anymore. Like that girl has grown and changed and shown you like what she's about and what she thinks. And if you don't agree with that, there's nothing wrong with turning away from that. Like there's a singer that I really like, and like I want the best for that girl for real. I'm not gonna say who it is. There's a singer I really like, and she was really great at one point, and now like I'm not really like loving the direction her music's taking. Like I still like listen to it when it gets released and stuff, and like I'll still like go and like retweet her tweets about her music or like her stuff, but like I'm not going out of my way to like promote her anymore. Like I'm not a fan like that anymore. Like I want to see people do great things, big things, but like I'm just not on that level anymore. Like, and I love Demi Lovato. That's another example. Like I love Demi Lovato so much. Old girl, she got me through a rough time. I had this surgery, right? I had a cyst right here, right here. It was right here in my right boob, and I was down. I was down bad. And after the surgery, I had to miss like 2, 3 weeks of school. And I had discovered her self-titled album. I had got into her interviews and stuff because I just fell down the Demi Lovato rabbit hole. And I like found out about her substance abuse and like the stuff that she's been going through. And I was like, oh my gosh, so amazed by her. And like really was like heavily in her music for a brick. Her most recent like album I haven't heard, like the rock album, and I love that she's going back to her roots on that. Again, so happy for her. And when I hear songs that I like, I'm gonna still ride for that girl. I'm gonna still support. Like I'm gonna still retweet. I'm gonna still go in the thing in the little tweets about the debates about who's the best vocalist of our generation, and if they got Demi, Ariana, Tori Kelly, JoJo, Adele, and some other people. Like I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna be, oh yeah, I'm gonna rank them. I'm gonna rank them. Like yes, like I love all them. Like that's still my girl. I'm still a fan. I still want to see her do great. I want to see her do big things. She seems to be a great person the way that she presents herself to the public. The problem is this: the way that celebrities present themselves to the public is one thing. And then the way that they act in public as well is another thing. Like the Selena Gomez thing, because that's the only example I have on the top of my head. It's like Selena's like, love always, like I don't like spread love, not hate. And then like she goes and spreads hate. I don't know what you want me to do. I'm supposed to sit there and let her keep getting away with this. I'm supposed to sit there and let her keep no. And then it's like okay. And this is that thing of like it's like I want to do videos and like talk about it because it's fun, like it's funny. Like I can't afford, I don't have insurance. People, I need to distract myself from reality. So I go on there and I clown a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to clown on the rich people who don't give a fuck about poor people. Like, why would I not do that? Like, bro, why would I not do that? So I go and do that. And then people are in the comments, I disagree. My only thing is you can disagree with me in the comments if you want to, but be ready to fight. One of the girls had to tap out. She did, because we was going back and forth. We was like this. I kept refreshing that page and I was in there. I was responding. And old girl was like, you know what? I'm not going to keep doing this back and forth with you. I'm sending love. Okay. And also her thing was like, we need to be building each other up and not tearing each other down. And I was like, girl, like I agree with that theory and concept of building each other up. But at the same time, somebody shows you enough time that they don't care about you. They don't care about anybody for real. Like, I'm not saying tear them down, obviously, but like, girl, what am I building you up for? Like, you're mean. Like, she and that she just just gives mean girl. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not saying Hailey Bieber or anybody else she ever been in beef with is the better person, but I'm sorry. Like, somebody has said on Twitter, like, a couple of people, there was a good little list of people who have like fallen out with Miss Gomez. And it's like, sometimes it's not that person, but like sometimes it is. Like, if that many people like have beef with you a little bit, or like you're getting under their skin like that, like sometimes you have to call yourself in on that. You got to call yourself in like, hey, maybe I need to change. But that's enough. Also, I'm not giving that woman no more time. Like, I didn't give her like what? I was like 10 minutes. I'm not giving her no more airtime. Like, Selena Gomez, I supported you, girl. I was there. I watched you grow, and I don't know what happened to you, girl. I don't know. You need a hug or something. Really and truly, you need a hug. Anyways, like I said, I was gonna come on here crying and screaming about, oh, like nobody listened to the podcast. Oh, I'm so hurt. But, or no, not podcast. I meant watching my TikToks. But then I posted that Selena Gomez one, and it's doing pretty good. So I'm gonna let it slide this time. Y'all got, I'm letting y'all off the hook this time. Anyways, I don't know. Oh yeah. I was on TikTok yesterday. Yeah, or like 2 days ago. I don't know. And there was this girl, and she was like in her like mid 20s, late 20s. And she was like, the world sucks. Like, influencers are going out of style. Like, we don't care about influencers anymore, and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna lie, when I read that, I was like, that is so true. Like, the world sucks, and these influencers really are, a lot of them are falling. Like, I've never seen some downfalls as hard as I've seen now. But the one thing I'm gonna say is this: if influencer culture is going out of style, I need to be the last one in that door. I'm sorry. I need to be the last one who makes it in that door before it closes. I can't keep doing this. I have been at work fighting demons, okay? My caveat, though, is that the fame and fortune I want the feeling, I want it to feel earned. Like, I want to put in my time. I want to put in my 10,000 hours, and I want my fame and fortune to feel like I earned it. Like, I've worked all my life for this moment. It's kind of like when like athletes get to like, like the Super Bowl, or they get to the NBA finals, or they get to like some other thing, and they're like, I trained all my life for this moment. Like, I was in the trenches in high school, I was in the trenches in college, and we sucked the first half of my career. But you know what? We're here now, and I've earned this moment, and I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna win. I'm gonna get it. And I want my moment to feel like that. I want my fame and fortune to be like, dang, like I was really in there. And I was, because I done went and graduated college like 6 months ago. Graduated summa cum laude, 3.9 GPA, mind you. And I'm making 1250. Like, we need to be so for real with ourselves. Like, y'all need to let me in that fame and fortune door. Like, have I not put in my time? Have I not put in my time? I'm, you know what? I'm not gonna keep doing this with y'all. Y'all need to make me famous now. You don't have to do it now. I'm not pushy. Yeah, you can take your time on that. Again, I want it to feel earned. It can be a slow rise. It can be a slow rise, but you don't want to do that quick rise where you shoot up like this, because then you end up down bad. But anyways, I don't really remember where else I was gonna go with that, but somebody's gonna have to do something, because I've been working hard over here. Like, but I still struggle a little. I still struggle. Shh, don't tell nobody. But like, I do struggle a bit with like and there's like an element of like, ooh, I'd be on the podcast and I won't say that I'd be spilling all my tea, because I don't, but it's kind of like, I kind of like people know my vulnerabilities, and that could be a problem, but we'll handle that when the time comes. But I be trying to remind myself that I'm not my views, I'm not my likes, I'm not how many people listen or watch the podcast, I'm not the same way that I'm not my mistakes. And I'm not gonna lie, that's still a really tough lesson to take in sometimes. Like, not even sometimes, like when things are up and I have a good video, it's like, yes, like I'm like, yeah, I'm so happy that things are going well, and I just can't stop checking the app. And then when the videos are down, it's like I'm literally a loser. And it's like sucks, because it's dang, like, why am I putting my value in like likes and views and how many comments I have. Like, again, it goes back to the like, you want your stuff to be acknowledged and you want people to like see it. But there's like, again, it's just, it's very gray. Like, I don't really, I feel like there are moments when I try to be in my Rihanna bag about it. I don't know if you guys remember that like popular like sound that people were using at one point about like, oh, what do you do on days where you don't feel your best? I think she said like wake up and fake it or something along the lines like that. But like that was so real. I was like, wow, like look at Rihanna go. Like Rihanna low key inspirational. Like actually like inspirational. I miss Rihanna. I was actually listening to music at work with those kids, and I was like, and Kiss It Better started playing. And I was like, I miss Rihanna. Like, Rihanna was in her bag on that last album. Like, I'm not going to lie though. If she never gave us music again, that would be okay because she ended that, like, she ended at just the perfect time. Like, that album was so good. I don't think any SZA's album was really good, but like there for a minute there was no album that was really topping that one. We need to be really serious with ourselves. Like Rihanna outdid herself there, and I'm not. It's not that I don't think that she could outdo herself again, but it's just like, dang, like I don't know if I would want to go back up against myself. Like, dang, like that's actually frightening. I know why she don't be releasing that music. I know why she don't be in the stew. Yeah, she's a billionaire, but I wouldn't be in the studio either if my last project was anti. I would not. I would not be in that studio. Promise you that. I'd be at the house with my man and two kids. Anyways, what is the next thing? Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about when I was begging to be famous a few minutes ago. I was gonna talk about how I wanted like when I think about fame and fortune, I be wanting that old school version of fame, like not like the super old school, like Michael Jackson, Diana Ross type, but like I want that like fame of like, oh, like old Disney Channel, like the little, you know how Disney Channel kind of had like a little, they had a little pipeline. They had like a Disney Channel to Hot 100s pipeline, like, and that went for like Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato, the Jonas Brothers, like Ariana Grande, even like and that was Nickelodeon to Hot 100s pop pipeline. Like they don't make stars like that anymore. And like I say that, but Sabrina Carpenter's on her way. And you know what? While I'm talking about Sabrina Carpenter, I'm a big Sabrina Carpenter fan, first of all. And I have been riding with that girl since Girl Meets World when she started acting on Disney Channel. And I started listening to her albums since then. And then I just kept listening to them. So anytime she would release, I was in there. And so, like, to see her getting famous now, like, I'm so happy for her. But at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I do want to gatekeep. Like, I'd be like, man, like, I met it used to just be me and Sabrina, bro. Like, I hate having to share celebrities with I'm like, man, why I gotta share? Like, why couldn't we keep that to ourselves? But like, I really do want her to be like famous. Like, she deserves that. She's so talented, and her music before, even like, I think one of my favorite album by her is probably her most recent album was good, but my favorite album by her. Hold on, let me actually go look because I forgot what it was called. Her debut album was cute, but what was that album? I can't even think of the name right now. Albums. Are they gonna show me all of them? Show all. That was annoying. Evolution, she ate so bad. In 2016 with Evolution, she ate so bad. Like, I can't believe she only has like 4 albums, or really technically 3, because Singular was like, that was technically a joint thing. And then, yeah, she really has one, two, three. Yeah, she really just has 3 albums, but like her music is so great. But, anyways, I was watching Twitter the other day, and I think she got an award. I think it was at Variety. I don't know for sure because like I really don't remember, and I'm not going to Google it. Anyways, always cite your sources though, guys. Anyways, she went up there to accept something. I think it was like up and coming artist, or I don't know, something like that. And she was like, I just want to like thank everybody, or like thank you guys for the nomination or whatever. And she was actually being really funny, and I wish more people were laughing. Anyways, but she was kind of talking about how her mom would always tell her like that she's the turtle, I think, tortoise, something like that. And it was based off like, like how that story about like how there's that I want to say it's the hare and the tortoise story where the hare, which is the rabbit, is like going speedy fast and he sat there and then like got to the finish line but didn't finish the race because he knew he had time or whatever. And then he went and fell asleep underneath the tree next to the finish line. And by the time he woke up, the turtle was right there at the finish line and he won. And it's like she was talking about how her mom always tells her that she's the tortoise and like if you keep putting in work, eventually, like, like you'll reap the results and everything. And that also makes me think about this other podcast that I listened to, Refined and Rowdy by Danae Hayes and Mandy. I don't know how Mandy, like what Mandy's last name is. Anyways, they're married, they're a lesbian couple, really great. I really like their content. One of them is a comedian, the other one is basically a fashion guru, content guru. She's really great. I love them. Anywho, but I was listening to their podcast the other day at work and they were talking about, dang, what were they talking about? Hold on, I lost it. I was in there. Oh, they were talking about like what happens when you like kind of get to the moment of like where people are, watching your content. You have like people who are like constantly supporting your stuff and like getting hate comments and stuff and kind of just like what it takes to like work your way up there and not letting other people's opinions kind of drive what you do. And really what they were talking about was falling in love with the process. That's what it was. That's what it was. They were talking about falling in love with the process of things and like eventually like the results will come. Like and I really, and like hearing those two things, I've heard that before, obviously. Well, not obviously, but I heard it over the summer because I was really watching a lot of Steph Curry content. And he released a documentary, and that was like one of the things that he had said, I think, in like an interview that he did. And he talked about falling in love with the process and the results will come. And for me, that's been like a really big thing lately is like, again, trying not to care so much about views and likes and comments, whether those are good or not, like good comments are bad, I meant. um but just like, okay, I enjoy the things that I'm doing? Like I enjoy making TikToks, I enjoy making content, I enjoy like talking to people in the comment section. um do I enjoy and love every single part of the results? No. But at the end of the day, I think, I don't know, I have to do a little bit more thinking on that. I think, again, like I've talked about this before, it's super important for you to like do the things that you love and to do the things that, like drive you to be you and stuff. But at the same time, sometimes that can be hard because like other people's voices will be in your head. Like, or sometimes like, I don't know, like I've said before, like life is hard and like always constantly listening to other people's opinions or caring about other people's opinions is a really tough thing to do. And even like if you think you don't care, sometimes you'll have like a bad day where like maybe you do read a comment and then you do care. Like I think that's like the hard part of like there's an element of like being able to like bask in your success and like read comments that like you and like enjoy you, about people, commenting that they enjoy your content or you're like you're funny and they're gonna follow you and stuff like that. um and there are moments when I'm like, and there are a couple of people on TikTok that like I know that they always like my stuff or always comment, always interact with me, and so I'll go and follow them back because like I obviously see it and I appreciate them doing that. um and then there's like elements of like having to take a step back and not always being a part of that. And again, that's like something I'm learning now, and hopefully that's like a building block. So like for me, and this is like a big theory for me in my life, I always believe that like the things that you go through in your life are just setting you up for like the thing that you're meant to do or like your purpose in life. And so like for me, I've always wanted to do music and that's like my big thing. But like at the same time though, I'm funny and I enjoy making content, I enjoy doing all the things. And I understand and have seen a lot of people not be able to make transitions from being content creators to doing music. So those things like solely exist very separately for me. So like nobody knows about this music I have going on over here. And then I just do and say funny stuff on the podcast. And that's like a really happy medium for me right now. Like I'm fine with that. I don't think I ever want to like cross those two, because that's again where like there is a lot of tough transitions and like people not taking you seriously about music once you've done like social media and stuff, which is just semantics really. But yeah, there's like a lot that goes into that conversation. But I just like I said, I've always wanted to do music and stuff, and then I'm funny, so like I know that I can like kind of get an audience and build like a following off of like making jokes and stuff, but at the same time I kind of want, and like that's fine. I enjoy like entertaining people. It makes me very happy, and I'm enjoy that. Like it makes me happy to entertain people. But at the same time, it's kind of like I want the music thing to be like a very separate, like I want that to be like a separate thing. Not saying that like people who enjoy my videos and like laugh at them wouldn't enjoy my music. Maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't. That's fine. But I kind of just want that to like have its own like little community, and then funny people over here, music people over here. And I know that that like separation can't exist forever. Or maybe it shouldn't exist at all. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, but back to what I was saying, I just feel like you should always do the things that you're passionate about. And sometimes, and just acknowledge that like sometimes there will be hard days when it is hard for you to like not seek fulfillment from likes or views or comments or other people's opinions. Like obviously you're going to have bad days like that, but hopefully you push through on those things. But back to my big theory, I really do just believe that like everything you go through was like setting you up for something great. So like for me, like growing up, and this is maybe sounds super duper conceited, which is okay. Like sometimes it's okay to have those moments. But like growing up, my teachers would always be like, "Oh, I just know you're gonna go and do great things and stuff like that." And I feel like it's one thing to hear that like when you're younger, and then it's kind of like a completely different thing to hear that like kind of all your life. So like yeah, like my teacher told me that when I was younger, and like people like adults will tell you that, but like to have like even like friends and like like people that you just like come into contact with and meet you like at work or something like that, and they're kind of just like, oh yeah, like I know you're gonna be fine, like you're gonna be just fine. And I think like other people's confidence in me like is something that I'm super duper grateful for. And I think I've talked about this before, I don't know, but I'm really grateful for people who believe in me when I don't believe in me. And I think that that's like that important thing, and something that you do have to learn and grow and all that stuff. And so like with some of the things that I've been through, like how I respond to things on social media, and how I handle like comments that about from people that just don't like me. Um it's like a very, I feel like it's definitely obviously an important lesson, especially if I want to go far and do big things. Like there are going to be people that don't like me or don't like my content or don't like my music or don't like whatever. And that's something you have to live with. And I'm hoping that since I'm learning that now, and I can learn how to like balance taking a step back from always looking and always caring about how something's doing. I think I would probably be better off if I were able to just put my phone down and like not focus so heavily on YouTube analytics, or how many listens my podcast has on Spotify, or how many views, or how many likes something on TikTok got. But like it's so addicting. Like it is so like social media is so bad. It's so bad, but it's so good because you can go on there and like yeah, get your feelings hurt real quick. But you can also go there and have a really great laugh and laugh with your friends and share videos and share your opinions and build like a little community. Like there's like, and then that's like the same, but it's like social media is bad, but it's also just social media feels like a reflection of life a lot of the time. Like yeah, like sometimes you go out into the world and you have a bad day, and like sometimes you go out into the world and you have a great day and you meet the people that you love, and like you meet your friends, and um you find people that you want to share your life with, like stuff like that. And it's like again, that's just life though, I think. Again, needing to come to terms with that. This podcast is really just my therapy at this point. I talk about whatever's on my mind. I just come on here and blab. Like this is just the internet. Like when you think about it, this is all very unserious. Just a couple of pixels put together in a small time frame. And I'm here right now. I'm here. Thank you for joining me, by the way. Anywho, gotta thank you again. Back to the topics because none of that was on the docket for the day. But yeah, I think that's my big theory. Everything you're going through was really just setting you up for the next thing that you have to go through to get you to where you're supposed to be. But I feel like I'm on the right track to get the things in life that I want, and just got to keep working, got to keep going to that job that I deserve more money at. Got to keep doing it. And what's crazy is, speaking of that job, and see, what I really needed to do was waste some time in the episode so that I could tell this story without, because see, most people would have been bored with whatever I was just going on about, because I'm not going to lie, stream of consciousness, don't even really remember what I was talking about 10 minutes ago. But I had to hide this piece of the podcast in here. So we all know right now I'm in my fuck that job era. Okay. Yeah. It's never, and I work with kids. It's never fuck them kids, because like those kids are so like they're great. Like I'm not gonna lie. I never thought that I would enjoy like working with kids. Like that's never something that was on my bucket list. Well, I always did a little bit want to be a teacher, and I'm kind of fulfilling that like want, or yeah, I'm kind of fulfilling that want right now. But obviously, this cannot be a long term job, because what the hell is 1250 gonna do for me? Anyways, oh my gosh, it's 1250 right now, and I get paid 1250. Anyways, besides the point. Um, but like I said, it's fuck that job, low key. Again, we're not gonna get into that, but we were making friendship bracelets the other day, and I was like, dang, like I should make some friendship bracelets for two of the girlies at the office that I like them. They're great. Like they are a hoot. Like whenever I go in that office, they are gonna have me giggling a little bit. They're gonna chat with me. They're gonna make me feel comfy. And so I was like, I'm gonna make them friendship bracelets. And I did. And they loved them. And they have the letters FTJ on them for fuck that job. And they're obviously limited edition, exclusive friendship bracelets. And I made them, and I was like, dang, look at us. Like, we all got little matching bracelets. I was like, guys, I made bracelets for you guys. I made presents. Like, oh my gosh, guys, I'm so excited. And I truly am excited. Like, I'm happy, and they liked them. I'm happy that they liked them. Like, I'm just, life is just so, life is just so life. Like, it's good. It's bad sometimes, but like, the good parts are enough to make up for the bad. And even when the bad lasts a long time, the good is still kind of enough. I'll be honest. But I am just like, I'm just letting life happen right now. Like I just kind of just trust that I'm gonna end up where I'm supposed to be, and just not to rush things all the time, because I know that sometimes I will do that where I'm like, oh, I just need to do this, I need to do that, and not trying to force the issue. Because low key, if anything has taught me, this is gonna be so stupid. I play 2K on my iPad. I don't have a gaming system. I wish I had money for that, but I don't. Um, but I be playing 2K on my iPad, and in the game, sometimes like I will just be playing the game, and the commentators will be like, my player is obviously a man. And they're like, he's just forcing the shots. Like, I don't know why he's forcing it. He needs to let the game come to him. And I feel like there are so many things that like sports or like any elements in life can teach you. But like for me, the way that I learn things sometimes, or I get like, or the way that like I get like lessons that I need to learn in my life are from basketball. So a lot of that, like something I really need to work on, and like I am working on, is like patience. But the other thing is that like not forcing things, like letting the game come to me. And it's really tough to do that sometimes, because sometimes we in the team we be losing, and I be trying to play hero ball. Okay. I watch a lot of basketball as well. And I just be like, bro, like, what am I doing? And like, I don't know what I'm doing is senseless. Like, I'm like, why did I shoot that shot? Like, there's no reason. That was ill-advised shot. Like, I'm stinking it up. I'm like 7 of 21. Like, I need to tighten up. But that is just such a great lesson in life, I think. I don't know. I didn't mean for this episode to be this. I had a bunch of things on the list that I was going to talk about today, and I'll get back to that. It's just, I don't know. I feel like I needed to share that. But like I said, I'm anxious. Like people, I'm anxious. Like I'm sure people clicked off this episode by now. Like, not really. You're never gonna catch me crying on camera. Anyways, but if anybody did click off, you're lost. I'm over here throwing down gems. Anyways, but yeah, I'm kind of just trying to let life come to me and not forcing things. And that includes like trying to force results or force things that just aren't meant to happen yet for me. And again, that takes patience, I think, like letting life just come to you and let things just come to you. Letting things that you pray for or wish for or hope for or work hard for come to you. Like it can be really hard to wait for those things because like it's just easy to want better. Like it's easy to want more and feel like you deserve more because you do. And so when you're not getting it or you're not getting it immediately and you're not seeing the results that you thought you would have in your head, or you're not, or things aren't going the way that you thought they were going to, it's really easy to like, like, oh, like I'm going to go and do it myself. And sometimes that's just not, it's not the right time yet. And that's okay. So if this door slams on me before is the influencer window slams on me, it is what it is. I'll take the L, but I know that I'll end up, hopefully, most days I believe that I'm going to end up where I need to be. Other days it's harder to believe that, but again, touch and go in life. Anyways, we can talk about resolutions, but I'm not gonna do that. I think I'm gonna wait till the New Year's episode, which the New Year's episode is always the best episode of the year. Um, we do big things there. I talk about what happened to me this year, the things that I've learned. It's a really deep episode. I love it. It's like my favorite thing to do. I talk about my New Year's resolution, and we'll definitely do that then. So I guess I'm gonna wait a little bit on the resolutions chat. Anyways, so we talked about clowning rich people. I don't really want to talk about that. I was going to talk about me drooling because I'm not going to lie, like things get a little grimy. Like I can't help it. My mouth just be open. Like I don't know what there is to do. And there's going to be somebody out there who loves me through that. Somebody's going to have to love these droolers through the moment, and that's okay. I feel like we do a little too much on the droolers. You can always wash whatever they drooled on. You don't have to do too much. It's not the greatest thing once it dries up and it leaves that little patch. Obviously, that's not cute, but somebody has to love the droolers through that. There are the people who drool, and then there are the people who love the drooler. Are you seeing what I'm saying? Connect the dots in your mind. Anyways, oh, I was gonna talk. That's not. Why are the topics for this week not good? Hold on, they're not good, but they're just not things that I really want to talk about. Oh yeah, update on Secret Santa. So I went and I got like who I'm getting, and it's actually not a bad person. And I was like, wow, like maybe life is really turning around for me. Like I got a good Secret Santa, I guess. Like I'm like, all I have to do is go over there and buy them things and it's up. Like I'm excited. Like I'm actually low key excited for Secret Santa. I hate that it's so far away because it's only December 9th. I wish it was closer, but I am, like I said, super excited for Secret Santa. Like, who doesn't love to get gifts for free? Anyways, wow. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I can't wait for that. Wow. Um, oh yeah, we can talk about how, you know what, actually, first of all, my throat is dry. These are the moments when I wish I had a co-host, but like I did these episodes so last minute. I couldn't do a co-host. I couldn't do it. Anyways, money doesn't do it for me. Is that something that I feel like talking about? Hmm. See, I had a whole thing like I was going to talk about how money doesn't really do it for me. And I was going to talk about how important it is to have friends who have goals and aspirations. And I was going to talk about Christmas shopping. And I was going to talk about what was that other thing on here? I was going to talk about this embarrassing story that happened to me a few days ago. But I'm not going to lie, I'm not really feeling it. I done sat here and talked about life and the things that I'm learning in my life. And I just now I feel like I need a nap. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. Am I gonna keep going? I'll keep going. Okay, okay, okay. Last one, last one. So we can talk about this embarrassing thing that happened to me like a week ago. So my boss had texted me and she was like, "Hey, I'm not coming this day." So I was like, "Okay, girl, like I have the key to the place, I have the alarm code." And I was like, I'm about to be in there. So my sister had bought me some queso from this food truck, very unimportant to the story. But I went and I needed some crackers because the chips that they sell with the dip at the food truck, I don't like them. They have like a funny aftertaste. So I was like, I need to go and get me some different like little chips, like like the little tortilla chips. So I stopped by this gas station around the corner from my job and I got them in a Coke and then I went to work. And I got there a little late, but I was like, no, it don't matter because I'm the only one who's here. So then there was maintenance men working across the street and for the same company that I work for. And I went and got myself out the car. And then, I had my backpack and my coat on, and I went and unlocked the door, and the alarm starts going off. So I walk over there to the alarm and I'm like, I got it. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm putting in the code. It's not like it's going off, like it keeps beeping. And like at the point when like it goes off for like a minute, not even a minute, if it goes off for like 40 seconds without you putting in the right code or putting in a code at all, it gets really loud, like loud, like everybody can hear it. And so I try to put the code in and it's just not working. And so I called my boss and I was like, girl, I can't think. And she was like, the code is blah, 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 blah. And I was like, girl, I can't think about that right now. Like the alarm is so loud and I'm so nervous and my mind was blank. So then one of the maintenance men from across the street came in and put their code in and then he left. And then he was like, oh yeah, before he left, he said, you're going to get a call from the main office. And then the police are going to come. Yeah. And they're not going to be happy. And then he left. And then he came and I was like, dang, that's tough. And I was on the phone with my boss. And then he came back and he was like, do you have a snack? And I was like, yes, like there's chips right there on the table if you'd like. And so he took the chips and then left. And it was just super embarrassing because like first of all the alarm was going off forever. That's one. Like long enough for like a man across the street to walk over there and put his code in. Like that's embarrassing. One. Two, it's embarrassing because the code that I was putting in wasn't remotely close to the code that I should have been putting in. It's because you want to know why that is. I was putting in my house alarm code, okay? And I kept doing that because I have literally the same alarm at home. And I just kept putting in our home code. And I was like, beep, bop, boop, beep, bop, boop, beep, bop, boop, beep, bop, boop. And I was like, why is this not working? And like, I was completely baffled. And I'm like, girl, like, you're not at home. Like, that stressed me that day. Like, and then it was a whole thing. And then I was just stressed. And then I got a call from the main office. And I ended up telling them exactly what happened. And it turns out they weren't even calling for that, bro. They were calling me to ask about something else, but I had already spilled the beans. So then when I went to work the next day, people clowning me a little bit, like, oh, look at all. But one thing I'm gonna give them maintenance men though, them maintenance men had my back. Okay. Not only did the maintenance man across the street come and help me with that code, okay, but then some other maintenance men like came up, like a couple batches of them came up and they were like, hey, like, are you good? Like, that happens to the best of us. It happened to me last week 2 times. Da, 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 da. And I was like, These guys, one of them came in and was like, "Hey, they reset your alarm." I was like, "I don't even know what that means. They clear it for you?" I was like, "I don't even know what that means, sir." And he's like, "Oh, they did. Now clear it for you." I was like, "Thank you, sir." I was like, "This guy, like these men, these are great men. Okay, they done came up here and checked on me. Okay, went to the bathroom in the center a couple times. I was like, look at you guys. You guys are stand-up men, and I'm not one to say that about men often. Okay, not that I have anything against men. It's just." We won't get into that today, but I was like, these are some stand-up guys working around here, okay? They done came. I was like, look, they're so nice. They done came over here. And I had met them as most of them at the Thanksgiving dinner, the work potluck we had a couple weeks ago. And I was like, look at them. Like, I was like, these are the guys. These are the men. Anyways, great people. So we talked about that. Da, 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 da. Oh yeah. Fast food is not good anymore. It's time to be serious. And it is. So Chick-fil-A used to be, I didn't even used to like Chick-fil-A growing up, but Chick-fil-A has really low key gone down for me. Their fries do not even be good anymore. Like, and I live by a Truett's, okay? And Truett's is supposed to be giving top tier service, top tier food, quality, deliciousness. And they don't be doing that all the time. Like them fries are ass. Like they're pretty bad, the fries. And I'm like, and then they don't even fill up the cup. Okay. So like I go over there and order a large fry and you skimping on the fries. Bro, food and money don't grow on trees. Well, some food grows on trees. That's not the point. They need to stop skimping. And then on top of that, I used to love Wendy's. And I'm not talking about any Wendy's. I'm talking about yellow Wendy's, okay? I'm talking about back when they had the yellow cups and they had like the little yellow fry container and they had that little foil wrapping. Yeah, I'm talking about that Wendy's. Yellow Wendy's was go-to Wendy's. That's the Wendy's I fell in love with, the Wendy's I grew up with. We would go there almost every week, every Friday. We would be up there at Wendy's. And then they went and changed the packaging and got those sea salt fries. And the natural cut sea salt fries, those were actually delicious. Sometimes I used to go over to Wendy's just to get the sea salt fries, okay? And they had that little, like their number one Dave single, that thing used to bust with the purple onion, people, with the purple onion. So you know that I'm talking about and you know it's real. Purple onion, they don't do it like that anymore. And they really don't, because they went and got rid of, like, they had like, they started doing that 4 for $4. This is where I think Wendy's went downhill. Also, during the time when they had the sea salt fries, they had that redheaded girl, Wendy, obviously, but they had like the one, like Wendy. Let me actually pull her up so that the people can see who I'm talking about. Wendy from Wendy's commercial. Bro, this was the girl that this girl right here, she was locked in on life. Like she was so valid. Like she was always eating that chicken and she was always going to talk about that food, bro. See, this was when Wendy's was in its, like, I won't say it was like, this was its prime. This was its peak moment. And she was always going to sit there and talk about that little chicken sandwich or that fish sandwich. And the second they got rid of Miss Girl and stopped putting her in the commercials and started doing that 4 for $4 and that biggie bag, yeah, it was cheap and affordable. But at what cost? At what cost? At the cost of getting rid of that purple onion, getting rid of those sea salt fries, and the quality of the buns going down. The buns don't even taste good anymore. Like, how you gonna have a Dave single and the burger bread don't even taste good? It's dry, it's starchy, it's falling apart in my mouth. Have some decorum, okay? Wendy's went down ever since they got rid of that little redhead girl. Wendy's is never coming back. And then they went and changed the fries recently. The food not good anymore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Wendy's used to be that girl. She had two good phases, the yellow phase and the girl with the red hair in the commercials. And now Wendy's is trash. But that just goes to show you Burger King trash too. I used to be able to get on a Whopper Whoppers taste like hot garbage now. I'm not gonna lie, I don't respect anybody who eats at Burger King, but I can't really say that because I be eating their little breakfast ham and cheese croissants. But the last ham and cheese croissant I had was no bueno. It was cold and it didn't taste that good. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, what's another like fast food place? And then I can't go to McDonald's anymore. Free Palestine, boycott. I'm not gonna lie, I miss their sweet tea though. I haven't gone over there, but I miss that McDonald's sweet tea real bad and a McChicken. I'm I just like food, bro. I just like food. But yeah, fast food is definitely has taken a turn for the worse. And honestly, some of the fast food people who are in charge of that stuff of like quality management, they don't need to be seeing the pearly gates. Like they need to be on the fast track to hell. Cause how do you mess up Wendy's? Like, bro, Wendy's was so good. Like sometimes I get sad knowing that I'm never gonna taste a Wendy's burger that good anymore. Like, I just can't. I can't do it anymore. It hurts me. I would talk about the other stuff, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of tired. So I'm gonna end this episode early. Maybe I'll post a bonus episode at some point next week. Um just to show my appreciation. I probably won't do that, but a girl can dream. Am I right? Anyways, I do want to thank you so much for listening to this episode. I have to go title it and do the description and upload it on YouTube and sue Spotify and all the things. And yes, but I do want to thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you want to follow me on any social media, especially TikTok, please, I'm boosting TikTok. Please, please, I just want to be TikTok famous. Please, 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 please. If you want to follow me on any social media, I have a business account where I post about really just nonsense on Instagram, and where I post about new episodes of the podcast and other content. If you want to check that out, everything is in the link tree in the description below. Okay, if you want to follow me and be fun and cool, DM me on TikTok and be like, "Hey, I watched you on YouTube. You should follow me back," and I literally will. Anyways, but again, thank you so much for listening to this episode. And if nobody listens to this episode, that's okay too. Um, this was really nice. I think I talked about a lot of things. I don't really remember anything that I talked about. What I should have done was taking a power nap before. I should have taken a power nap or a shot. Either one of those should have happened before I hit record, but it didn't. So next week, I'll come back and I'll take a nap that time. I'll take a like an hour nap so that I'm ready and energized for the episode. But again, thank you so much for listening. I'll be back next Saturday at 7 a.m. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Bye.